Did you know that the microwave was invented when a researcher walked past a radar tube and the chocolate bar in his pocket melted? Wait. Oh, sorry, wrong show. Did you know that you don't need to be a professional photographer or have professional equipment to actually open or create a recording studio in your own home? Let's talk about that. Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to Did You Know That? A show where you and I are going to work together to come up with simple solutions for everyday problems that we have. Over the next couple months, what we're going to be focusing on are specific areas that you can build and use in your own personal studio. There's going to be some ideas that are DIY and on a budget, and then there's going to be some ideas that, if you do have a little extra money that you can use and invest into your studio. There's 4 specific areas that I want to focus on: lighting, backdrop, audio, and cameras. Hey guys, so here's the thing. I'm not a professional, and a lot of what I'm saying is just honestly my own personal opinion. But you guys probably have a lot more understanding of some of these materials, and I would love to hear down below in the comments how you would use things differently, or maybe there's something else that you would like to add. Why not leave me a comment? Thanks. But for today, what I want to do is I want to give just a little taste, a little introduction to each of these areas that we're going to be focusing on. Now, for cameras, you don't have to break the bank. It's not something that you have to go out and buy the most fancy or the most expensive camera equipment. To be honest with you, most people have a cell phone. And even with your cell phone, most cell phones have really good camera qualities. And so all you have to do is set up your camera, have it at a really nice angle, have really good lighting, and you can have your own studio with just your camera. But, if you do want to go out and you do want to spend a little bit of money or maybe a lot of money on some camera, here are 2 of the cameras that I actually use. So this is my faithful camera. This is a little older model that I've had for a while, and it serves a really, really good purpose. It's something small, something light, something simple. You don't really have to have that big of a setup. We got this actually at Sam's. It came in a big bundle with lenses and a whole bunch of stuff. Honestly, the lenses I didn't even use. I bought my own lens, but it's really nice. It's a small little camera that's very easy to handle, easy to move around. It's not super heavy that it's going to give you cramps or anything in your muscles, and when you hold it, it just fits perfectly in your hand. It's a Canon EOS Rebel T5. It doesn't have a lot of fancy settings. It's not super high tech, but it works in a pinch. And whenever you need a really good shot and you need something quick, just pull it out and boom, it's right there ready to go. Now this one's my baby. I have a lot of students that I work with, and whenever I give them the opportunity to actually use this, I always look at them and I tell them, you guard this with your life. Act as if this was my own child. Carry it, hold it, protect it, because I love this camera. This is such a good camera. Again, a very older model. There's newer models of this specific camera out there, but I love this camera so much, and it's never failed me. I've never had any problems with it. It's a Canon EOS 7D. This is the Mark I version. I believe there's also a Mark II and a Mark III out there, but this is my favorite one. This is beautiful. I love it. This has a lot more settings, and we'll go in later in later videos. I'll go in more detail as far as why this camera is so good, but I don't know, this camera, it's really heavy. There's some weight to it. Yes, you do get tired. That's why I use a tripod. But when you're holding it and you're taking, just B-roll or you're taking shots, it's such a good camera to hold on to. The lens is my own personal lens. I didn't buy any lenses, or I didn't come with any lenses. I actually went out and bought my own lenses. This is a pancake lens, a 24 millimeter. The other one that I was holding, the small one, this is a 50 millimeter, or the Nifty 50. but those are really two really good lenses to start off with. They're not that expensive. They're actually very, very inexpensive compared to a lot of other nicer lenses that you can go out. But if you're not willing or not ready to spend a lot of money on investing in lenses, those are two lenses that I would recommend that you actually purchase. So having a good camera is very, very important depending on the type of film you're doing, or maybe the type of photography that you're going for. Having a very specific camera or a very specific lens is very important, and we can go over that later. But right now what I want to focus on, or what I want to show you, is it really doesn't matter the type of camera if you don't have good lighting. You need good lighting in order to see the whole subject or the whole area that you're focusing on. With bad lighting, you get a lot of shadows. I don't know if you notice, I'm only using one light because of the fact that I'm going to show you one of my lights. But on one side of my face, there's some shadows, and it's going to look weird. It's going to look off. But I'm doing it for a point, okay? But the lighting that you get, again, you can spend a little bit of money or you can invest a lot of money depending on what you want. Either way, it's how you use it. This is a small can light that I have. It's on a PVC base. I built this. Again, another video later on, I'll show you how to do this. But, I mean, this whole setup, this and this all together, this cost me, I want to say, maybe about $10. The lighting itself I got at Home Depot. You can get it there. You can get it at Lowe's. It's a very simple can. The lights are super simple outdoor LED daylight bulbs. It's 650 lumens, so that's the brightness of the actual bulb. The Kelvin scale, or the color temperature of this, if I'm not mistaken, it's somewhere in the 4,000 range, but I'm not too sure. When I do more in depth, I'll give you more of a definite answer. But I mean, these are great bulbs. They're super simple. They come in a pack of 6. Not that expensive. I mean, each one I think ran me maybe $1.50. I mean, these are it's so simple. You don't have to break the bank. You don't have to go above and beyond to buy these massive lights. Something like this is easy. It's simple, and you get a couple of these, put them in the right spot, and you'll get a very well lit area, very well lit subject. Now, if you are willing to invest in some lighting, maybe not so much a big investment, but you do want to have good lighting, and you do want to have something that is going to be able to be used multiple times in multiple areas, something mobile, something you can move from one setting to the next, I would recommend getting these. These are the newer LED video lights. I cannot praise these enough. These are amazing. Let me detach it from the base real quick. It comes with a heavy duty aluminum base that is very easy to set up. It's a tripod stand. Has 2 extensions. It goes very tall, but it's so simple. It's very lightweight. It's not extremely heavy, not extremely hard to move around. So if you're trying to get a specific shot and your lighting seems off, you don't have to tear down the whole thing completely. You just lift and move. It's so simple, so great. I love these lights. Now, this light itself is so cool because not only does it have a plug that you can plug in, but check this out. Batteries. These batteries are amazing because for one charge, they'll last you maybe about 4 to 6 hours, depending on how often you're turning them on and off. If you're having them, in a certain area, depending on the type of lighting that you have. It has a controllable color temperature in the back. You're able to go from full-on white to full-on yellow light. And it's great because you can do a mix depending on the color temperature that you want for your shot. It's so perfect for that. There is a small film here in the front that if you're in an area where you need the light very close to your subject, you add this small film, which is a diffuser for your light, and it's so simple and easy to put on. I've used it so many times. One of the lights that I have right now that I'm using to light me in this shot is one of these lights, and so I really enjoy using these. These are very, very versatile. You can use them in many different areas. With the batteries, you can actually take them outside if you're doing some outdoor photography. If you're shooting maybe after golden hour, or maybe earlier in the morning when the sun's not quite out yet, but it's nice and cool, so you want to get some really good shots. This is perfect. This is a perfect type of light. Okay, so we've covered cameras, we've covered lighting. Great. But your audio, it's just as important as your lighting, just as important as the type of cameras. You have to have good audio in order for everyone to be able to hear whatever you're recording, whether it's outside or inside. These are some of the things that I use for myself for audio. Again, it doesn't have to be this way. There's very simple things that you yourself can do. For example, your cell phone has the ability to record your voice. There's a really cool app that I found called Voice Recorder that I often use whenever I'm in a pinch and I have to record something really quickly. I'll use this app to record the actual voice, and it records it as like a memo or as a MP4 file that you can send to yourself through either email or if you have a Dropbox. The sound quality most often isn't that great unless you're directly in front of the actual cell phone. But there are some abilities, there are some ways that you can connect. For example, I have this little adapter that I can connect to my cell phone and connect this to a small 1/4 inch or 3/4 inch microphone. Amazon also has these really cool lav mics that you can connect to your lapel and connect them directly into your cell phone, and I've seen a lot of people use those. So the mics that I'm using right now, I'm still learning how to use them. I'm not completely familiar with all of them. Most of the mics that I have, they were either given to me or I found them used and I bought them very, very cheap. But like for example, the mic that I have right now is a Shure KSM-27 condenser mic. It picks up sound very, very well. From where I'm at right here, I have this pop filter right here in the front, so whenever I'm speaking directly into it, it's not picking up the sound that I usually give whenever I speak. But I mean, it for the most part, it works really, really well. This types of mics are usually for instruments or for picking up speakers or drum kits and stuff. But this is what I'm using it for. It like I said, it works very, very well. This other mic that I have here is a Shure PG81. It's a very older model than the one that they have out now. But it still works. It works. Not perfect. There are some times where I have to, give it a little, loving, tender care. But for the most part, it works fine. I use it more of like a shotgun mic. I know it's not a shotgun mic. So before you start leaving comments down at the bottom, I know it's not technically a shotgun mic, but I do use it as a shotgun mic whenever I need to get a larger area of sound. I'll aim it directly to whatever I'm trying to record, and that's what I'll use to pick it up. But you're probably thinking, well, yeah, that's great for you because you have all this equipment that was given to you or you found, and that's great. But in all reality, you really don't need all that. All you need is something to be able to pick up your voice and amplify it. Most cameras have a really good microphone, and if that's all you have, that's great, but make sure that it's picking up the sound of your voice. Try to block out all the other outside sound, cars driving by, your AC unit, fans that are blowing. That's what's important. It's important that you pick up good audio, whether you're using a microphone, an external microphone, or you're using the microphone of your camera. Make sure that your audio is good. All right, so we've covered lights, we've covered cameras, and we've covered audio. But this is one more step that you can actually do to kind of enhance the experience that you have when you're recording, and that's backdrops. Now, backdrops aren't that scary. You don't have to have all this equipment. In all reality, all you need is a small PVC pipe that you can hang or drape material off of. These materials, you can get them on Amazon, or you can go to your local fabric store and purchase yards of this material. For example, this blue screen that I have, I bought it at a fabric store. It's just simple material that I've just draped over. Underneath, I have a white material that I got off of Amazon for like $8. And then underneath, I have a black material that I use as a black background that I found in a closet somewhere. It's so easy. And the pipe that I have on top is just a small metal rod that I have hanging from 2 posts. That's it. It's so simple, guys, and a backdrop will enhance the background or the experience that you're having, the depth of field in your film. So this video just scratched the very, very surface of what I really want to get into with this series. There's a lot more that I want to focus on. There's a lot more that I want to talk about, but I want to hear from you. What are some of the things that you are interested in, maybe that I can focus on, do a little bit more research, and give you more information on? Again, lighting, camera, backdrops, audio, all those things are just the very, very beginning. There's so much more that we can actually focus on, and I want to hear from you on that. But until then, now you know.